ask you this. I mean, I have my questions, and there's a lot, and some things I was like, ooh, because just because of the way the business is. I wanted to ask you, what was your most favorite show that you've done, and why? I mean, it doesn't matter. It can be a Broadway show, off Broadway, a tour, and why. And this is a two-part question. And I know personally, because you've shared some things with me, and I think I said it in our last show, but
Okay.
some of the directors, choreographers, and stars that you've worked alongside of, whether it was Harry Connick or whether it was Robert
Right.
Goulet, who were able to give back to you, and you were able to learn some things from. So that's a two-part question.
That's a huge
I
question,
know,
Renee.
but go for it. I mean, I know there's a lot. There's so many people
That's
that
a
you've worked
lot.
with that
I mean,
we
we
only
take
dream of
away,
working with. So
right. I mean, and the thing is, we take away, if I think as an artist, you got to take a little bit of something from everybody. So to pinpoint just one person
okay,
is
let's say
really hard.
two of the most favorite shows that you've done or tours, and
Okay, two
why,
favorite.
and two people and what they poured into you and pulled out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna say today in this moment, one of my all-time favorite shows. Okay, I'm gonna say three. One of my all-time favorite shows that I did was, believe it or not, Hello Dolly,
Mm-hmm.
for the Music Theater of Wichita. If you don't know about it, you should run to the website now and find out everything you can about the Music Theater of Wichita and Wayne Bryant, the artistic director. Um, Best place on earth to work. I mean, including Broadway. I mean, they were the nicest people, the most professional people. And I learned from Wayne Bryan that it doesn't have to be hard or angry. You know, a lot of times you see people in in rehearsal and people are yelling and screaming. Maybe you don't see that, but when you start in the business,
Uh-huh.
you will see it.
Oh,
Trust me.
oh yeah.
Because tensions run high because you're trying to get a production up, and not everything is going the way people planned. And a lot of times they take it out on you, the
Yep.
actor. But you know, you got to stay chill. You got to just know it's not me.
That's right.
And sometimes it is you. But um, what I learned from the Music Theater of Wichita and Wayne Bryan was it doesn't have to be angry and hard and yelling and screaming, and it can be done faster than you think.
Wow.
Um, One of my most favorite productions there was Hello Dolly. I got to do two things. I got to do well, I've done several things for the Music Theater of
Yeah.
Wichita, but my first season was Hello Dolly and West Side Story. I was Minnie Faye in Hello Dolly, and then a week later I was Anita in West Side Story. Okay, random or switch it.
Right.
I can't remember, but I did both people in a matter of a week.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal. It really was. And I realized Hello Dolly is one of the most beautiful, you know, musical theater shows you could possibly imagine doing. I sat in the box at the end of the show. There's a scene where everyone gets rushed off into court, and I'm sitting in the courtroom scene, and I'm wearing this big, like, ice cream hoop dress and everything, and I've got like curls, and I've got like it's just it's so musical theater you would just die. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching I think it's Cornelius Hackleby sing one of the last numbers in the show, and it was just a moment of looking around and saying, I love this. And I'm watching the audience watch him, and I'm watching him, and I'm watching my fellow castmates. And for some reason, that just struck such a chord in me. Why, I do not know. But it was just one of those moments where, and I've had a few of those, where I had a moment on stage saying, I absolutely love this, and I don't want to do anything other than this.
Awesome.
Don't know why, but that was one. One of my other favorite shows, I'm just jumping around because there's so many.
I know.
Um, uh, okay, I'll skip ahead to like Pajama Game. I did Pajama Game on Broadway, the revival with Harry Connick Jr.
Yay!
And I work with the one and only Kathleen Marshall. And I really felt like I had hit the triple crown in musical theater.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm singing and dancing on Broadway. I'm working next to Harry Connick Jr., who is hot.
Exactly. He's awesome.
Like, turn around. Okay, no. he's hot and he's just awesome, people. I think he's on, what is it?
He's
He's
on
on, not
American Idol.
American Idol. Everything you see on American
That's
Idol,
him.
that's exactly how he
That's
is.
what I thought.
I mean, he just kind of became like the brother from another mother,
Right.
kid you not. And I got to understudy in that show. And I got to understudy the role that does steam heat. Um, and let me tell you, doing a Fosse show on Broadway with an amazing director choreographer,
Wow.
with an amazing, star, that's a dream come true. You can't not love that. That was one of my favorite moments.
Now,
Um,
now, what? Let's stay in that moment for a minute.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
what was one of the things that you learned while you were in rehearsal for that show? Whether it was hard for you at first in the beginning, but that
Oh,
made
but
you a better, you know what I mean? That made you a better performer in the end. Let's talk
let me
about that. Let's get to the
It
meat.
was so hard because each director, choreographer, you'll learn, has their own style, their own method. And Kathleen Marshall, I felt like I was pledging, and I felt like I was pledging the sorority fraternity. What did I used to call it? Um, oh, it's pajama game. So I was like, I don't know, Phi Gamma Kappa, pajama game Kathleen,
Right, right,
whatever. But I mean, because every time I would make a mistake, it'd be like a little mistake, and I'd be somewhere far, far off in the corner.
right,
I'd hear Kathleen go, "No, Debbie, that's not right." And I'm going, "How did you even know?"
right, right.
She has a hawk eye, and let me tell you, she knows exactly what she wants, how she wants it, how much of it. She is one of the most prepared and organized and professional people I have ever worked with.
That's
And
amazing.
I took away from that, um, one, you never know who's watching and when.
Right? That's true.
And two, the organization and professionalism, when it's at its highest point,
Mm-hmm.
is like none other. And if you can be on top of your game, you can accomplish anything. I'm watching her set this show, and I'm watching her, put in the things she thinks she works, that work rather, and then finding out they don't and having to change them on a dime,
Wow.
and keeping her calmness and her coolness. And, it was amazing to see how professionals, true professionals, work. And I thought, if I can apply that to my daily life in trying to, further myself in this business, the sky is the limit. That's one of the most major things I took away from that, other
Wow.
than feeling like I had been pledged by Karen Marshall.